Hello. Okay, so today we're going to talk about muscular cramps and why they happen and what we can do about them. Can you see me okay? Doesn't look like I'm on camera, so I'm going to come down. Okay, what we're talking about today is those cramps you get usually in the middle of the night. So it turns out about 95% of us get those from time to time. Well, really what this all is that the muscles use electrical stimulation to contract, and the nerves decide when that happens. Well, nerves can be overexcitable. They can get stimulated for many different reasons, and really muscular cramps, here's I'm going to give you this big word, are idiopathic. You know what that means? That's a really fancy medical term for we don't know why it happens. We don't know why nerves just decide to contract. Now here are some of the factors. Dehydration is the biggest factor. So how much water should we be drinking? About 8 ounces every hour, hour and a half. If you're exercising, about 8 ounces every 30 minutes. So a lot more. If you exercise, a lot more, about as much as you can. You call that a hydration schedule. You should be on a schedule. Next biggest thing is medication and age. So read the fine print on the medications you're taking. They could be making you dehydrated, essentially is what they're doing. Fatigue. So what we're talking here is not just generalized tiredness, but that you're either sitting in one position too long, most of us do that, or you're actually walking, standing too long. And so our bodies are in kind of the wrong shape for too long, and nerves get tangled. So dehydration is part of this. Nerves get too close and they excite each other, or they've just been held in one place too long. So again, nerves, like every other part of our body, depend on us moving in a balanced way. Move some. So I would say, you should be doing purposeful exercise 30 to 60 minutes every single day. But in addition to that, you should be getting up and moving every 30 minutes. Aside from when you're sleeping, that's the only time you get to just sit there and do nothing. Now, talking about sleeping, what happens is sometimes we get under the covers. I don't know if you can see my feet, but the covers, of course, cover our feet. You point your toes. Maybe you're moving around. When you do that, that contracts the calf muscle here. And so the calf muscle is the number one muscle for those nighttime cramps. What would you do when you get that? Same thing. You would probably do stretch, pull your toe back, which would be screaming difficult, but that massage, I'm sure you do that. You just can't not do that. Change their heat. So either putting your foot on something very cold like the tub, or actually putting ice, immediately on it, or putting heat. So if you know you're prone to get these at night, I would put heat on my calves before bedtime and do some movement. So they don't know. So the other things is electrolyte imbalance. So that is sodium, number one. You need probably more sodium. You're probably thinking, what? But yeah, you probably need more sodium. If you don't know how much sodium you're getting, start counting it. Start looking at the labels and figuring out how much sodium you're getting. Then calcium, same thing. You may not be getting enough calcium. You maybe need to take a supplement. We'll talk more about that. Magnesium. Magnesium relaxes your muscles. Be careful. You don't want to overdo the magnesium. And the last one is potassium. So number one, sodium, then calcium, magnesium. Lastly, potassium. But sodium and water are the biggest things, because they change how the nerves are moving and interacting with each other, and we don't want that. So stretch, massage, heat, ice, and pickle juice. I know some of you are going to be really happy to hear that. But jar of pickle juice, I guess, by your bed. I don't know. Somehow, for some reason, because it's sodium and water together, it lessens. So that contraction is going to last about 9 minutes, which is a very long time. Pickle juice may reduce that by some time. So there you go, pickle juice in the middle of the night. So best thing we can do, as always, is some yoga to stretch, relax, and move the mind into the body. So let's start here. I'm just doing a nice little generalized stretch session here. So this is going to be hopefully pretty quick. So let's start out in hands and knees. I want to start out and remove the middle of the body around. So to do this with me. Now, many of you get down on the floor and do this with me. Some of you just look to see, what the dogs are doing. But say you're standing. Maybe you just happen to be streaming this while you're standing around. You could put your hands on the counter, and that would be hands and knees pose. So you see I'm moving the center of my body one way then the other. What I'm doing is just trying to liquefy my spine, trying to get fluid moving. Again, those muscular cramps come from pressure on the nerves. And pressure is because of fluid. There's fluid inside and outside the cells. Come to downward dog. Again, you can do this on your and your counter. You don't have to come all the way down. Now we're going to say bicycle the legs. So just kind of move the legs. Or there's your downward dog. There's the downward dog you've been waiting for. There it is. That'd be the first time you ever did downward dog when I said downward dog. So bicycling the legs, I'm just kind of moving them around. So we've done this in practice before. Then widen the legs and then take one arm and back up a little bit and take one arm through and across and then twist the spine. These are just generalized stretches you might do, I don't know, 10 minutes before bedtime, and then the other way. So take that arm down, reach across, grab the ankle or the shin, and twist the spine. It just feels so good. Now let's come all the way up into standing. So I want to do a quick practice. I hope you come up to standing to do this with me. But even if you don't, this is something you can just do. I don't know if you can see me. I guess I should back up so you can see me. So I want you to just take this nice relaxed stance, almost like a meditative stance, and grab this globe of white energy. And when you inhale, pull it up. When you're done inhaling, doesn't matter how high, turn your hands and exhale, push that globe back down. Now bring it closer to your body. So now visualize the color, the shape of that globe. So anywhere you are, you can do this meditation. And what I'm doing is I'm imagining that energy is moving through my body and cleansing it and balancing, reharmonizing. So in almost every practice I say to you, you're probably not moving enough. Or some of us, a few of us that move too much. I do a lot of endurance and exercise. So how do you know? Well, you move, again, every hour. But then you imagine that this energy, because it actually takes energy to relax. That sounds counterintuitive. That muscles work because of chemicals, electricity. But those chemicals, they have to change from one chemical to another. One goes into the cell, one comes out of the cell. And that takes energy. That all takes energy. One more time. So push the energy through your body, whatever color that was, whatever color you need, whatever color you want to maybe get rid of in your body. Let's come back here. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, extend back. Come up and forward fold. Step back to plank pose. Lower all the way down. Come up into cobra stretch. Okay, so cobra stretch. So many of us avoid this pose. And again, you could do this probably on the back of a chair. Just be careful that it's good and up underneath you. You could even do this, seated at your desk, but I'd rather you get down to get the full expression of the entire spine, getting this nice little stretch. So mostly it's the legs, and sometimes arms and the hands. When you have cramps in the hands a lot, that's usually something else. There's something else. There's tissue that's grown. And so you probably want to get that checked out. Again, there's probably not a lot they can do for it except these same movement exercises. So from here, let's come back to child's pose. I want to try this child's pose today, where you bring the palms together and over your head. That just feels so good. And the triceps and latissimus dorsi. Take a breath or two here. You can get down on the floor, though. Get down on the floor. Because it grounds you and it brings you to the present. Let's step 1 foot forward in the present, where there's a puppy dog, and lean forward. This pose may not seem like much. I don't know if you're doing it with me, you feel it, because the leg muscles are big, and they're going to take up a lot of the energy that we need to move, but also to relax. Now, kind of loop this hand around the shin and pull. So I'm like pulling my chest forward, at the same time pushing my hips forward. Then holding on to that, bring the hand to the knee and push down. Now I'm twisting through that spine. Oh boy, I feel that. I could stay here a very long time. I'm not going to, because it might be too much. Then from here, come back. I'm going to take this front foot and move it across your body to the, like in front of the other knee. Got that? That's kind of hard to understand. Push back and then take both hands over. Now this is an important one for you runners and walkers, and I hope you are all walking, because we got to just strengthen those muscles in the knee and the hip. Last week we talked a lot about the foot and the ankle, so you can always point and flex, and there's that calf muscle. Again, you wouldn't want to overdo this, so the goal is not to do as many calf stretches as possible or to do a lot of running necessarily, but to stretch and balance movement. All right, so you should feel that in the side hip. Let's do this all again. So low lunge, step forward, lean forward. Maybe you should feel that immediately. Remember, we've done things where lifted the back foot. And from here, grab the shin and pull forward. So we're pushing the hips forward. You see that? Pushing the hips forward. It's those little refinements. That's what makes this yoga. That's what makes this a meaningful stretch. It's not getting into a pose and just counting or waiting. Although it's still gonna get in there. Then I take this hand and twist. This is the one I could stay in a long time. I can stretch my back here, or I could even turn onto the side of my knee. So you kind of decide what you want to feel there. Most of you, because I know you, it's the back. So push with your hand and twist the spine. And then come back, and we're going to push back into that half monkey. But remember, we're taking this leg across in front of the opposite knee. So it crosses the plane of the body. Push the hips back. Bring both hands across to the outer side. That's a good hamstring stretch. You can pull and push at this ankle. Again, the goal is just to get the equal amount of movement. So let's say you are a runner and you've been running 3 to 5 miles a day. I don't know. You probably can hold this an hour. I know these sounds like a very long time. It is not. That is about the right. You want to stretch and strengthen. Now, if you are exercising any more than 30 minutes, you should be drinking water while you're exercising. Bring water with you. I don't mind. In class, I see people knock their water bottle over and then they're embarrassed. It's okay. You can do that. That's all right. As long as the cap's on, we don't have a flood. All right, let's come around and take 1 or 2 more stretches. There are little nuances in the stretches. I hope you can see me. It doesn't look like the camera's looking at me, but let's hope this is okay. I'm going to stay seated. Now you feel free. Come all the way down or stay up. Either way, all I'm trying to do is hook my hands around this baby and pull in. Now, if you're all the way down, I encourage you to take this opposite leg out and push it down. So it's the relationship between those 2 pelvic bones that we're really stretching here. This is a piriformis stretch. It's a deep hip rotator, meaning it rotates the leg. It rotates the leg out. That's all it does. Which actually just gets a lot of work. It gets a lot of work from so many things, because it's the main muscle that negotiates the relationship between the leg and the spine. Because it doesn't even touch the hip bone. It's the leg and the spine. Forget the hips, leg to spine. Now you're all the way down. Take this knee all the way across and push this knee down. And so then the other side. Now you don't have to come up. Stay down. Recross, cradle, pull. If you can, the leg. Stretch that out, push it down into the floor. So stay down, you don't have to come up. You feel that cradling. You want to sense that you're letting something go. At the same time, though, you're sensing more. Because I know the holidays are coming and we're going to have relationships that like, oh, I'm going to see you around the holidays, right? And so there's people that you're going to see that you don't normally see. And so we take the knee all the way across. And there's so many things we can talk about. What is pleasant conversation? Well, it turns into a heated debate very quickly, or hurt emotions. So now would be a really good time to start a meditation practice, so that you can learn this calm. So what we're working on is that calm, cool. How do you stay calm and cool? Well, the benefits of staying calm and cool are worth all the effort. You're not on an emotional roller coaster. So when somebody gets to you, they say something really offensive, really hurtful to you. Let's take both knees in. How do you stay calm? Well, a meditation practice is the key. So it's just like training for anything else that you have to do. Now, if you can come to happy baby, try this. Grab your feet. If you can get down on the floor, this one's worth it. If you get down on the floor, even if it takes you a long, long time, and come back up. Come into happy baby. This one feels so good in your low back and the hips that it's really worth the effort here. Again, it's not important that you grab the feet, so you can pull from the ankle, or you can even put one strap across. There's another option. But then try half happy baby. So just lift one leg and make sure I don't get the dog with the other leg. I don't know if you can see him. He's kissing my feet. Oh, he heard me say that. He knows. Let's go to the other leg. So we started out like happy baby. And again, if you can grab the foot and pull down. Watch your dachshund. He's so cute. He's absolutely terrible. I didn't make him a sweater. I bought him a sweater. It's absolutely awful. He just hates it. Maybe I'll put it on him in a second. I don't know. So from here, let's roll up. So I actually want you to try this meditation. There's your downward dog. I don't know if you can see it. Try this meditation with me. So come up. So you can stay lying down. You can go into Shavasana here. But if you can try meditation seated, I think it might be a little bit better, because I want to make the point that we're staying awake. And I do close my eyes, and I want you to close your eyes, but we're staying awake. So first let's start with Samavriti. Samavriti. Same breath or same energy. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. In. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now just try to be still and comfortable. All I want you to do for about a minute is put some distance between you and your thoughts. Now your thoughts are normally really kind of mean. Your thoughts are normally deriding you, being unkind to you. So silence that inner critic. Keep your spine straight. That's actually important here. Keep your spine straight. The actual posture you're in isn't as important, but that your spine is straight wherever you are. So here's the key. Practice waking up from distraction. So I'm going to say the word now. When I say the word now, it's going to bring you back to now. 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 So notice in your mind body now, the tension comes from thinking. Relaxation comes from being. I'll say that again. In your mind, body, tension comes from thinking. Relaxation comes from being. So come back. So there's kind of your homework. To wake up again and again from distraction. And notice that the inner critic keeps grabbing your attention. So it's not that you have to be completely still. You just have to go, now, what am I feeling? Am I thinking? I'm going to release that thought, feel the body, and then let this flood of a natural order come back in. Let's bring the hands together. So what does this mean? This means that I'm connected, and then to my heart, but I'm connected to the universe, so everything is brought in. It brings me to center. So this actually helps me. If you know me, once in a while you'll see me just do this, just to sort of center. Inhale. Stretch back, exhale. Inhale. Over to one side, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So bring that light back into your heart. So from the center of my heart, I shine outward to you. So this is an offering to you. Namaste.